Last year, after the deaths of Breonna Taylor and George Floyd, I built an even bigger police reform proposal. But my Democratic colleagues blocked it. I extended an olive branch. I offered amendments, but Democrats used a filibuster to block the debate from even happening. My friends across the aisle seemed to want the issue more than they wanted a solution.
That was Republican Senator Tim Scott offering his rebuttal to President Biden last night on police reform. And as our own Leanne Caldwell reported moments ago, 4 congressional aides tell NBC News formal police reform talks are beginning today. Joining us now to discuss Democratic Congresswoman Val Demings of Florida. She is also the former chief of Orlando Police Department. Congresswoman, thank you for being here. I want to first get your reaction to Senator Scott's comments blaming Democrats for not getting police reform done.
Well, Stephanie, good morning. It's good to be with you. And let me just say this about the president's address last night. It felt good to me during my time in Congress to hear a president say, my fellow Americans, and really believe that he was talking to me. This is a moment for America to rise to the occasion. Look, this is about leadership. It proves that America can work with the right leadership. And I am hoping that Senator Scott and other Republicans will come to the table and pass the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act. Is it a perfect law? No, it's not. There's still a lot of work to be done, but I do think it's reasonable. In law enforcement, we deal in that space with what a reasonable officer person would do. And I'm hoping that the Senate, under the leadership of Senator Scott on this issue, will be reasonable and come to the table and let's get this law passed.
Well, there are some people going to the table today to do some work. I mentioned it a moment ago. Formal police reform talks beginning on Capitol Hill, 8 lawmakers, 4 from each party. What should be the starting point for these discussions?
I really think the starting point will be the need for criminal justice reform in our country. Look, it is not a perfect system. I certainly know that. Leadership is not easy. I certainly know that. But with the verdict last week in the Derek Chauvin case, that these negotiations, those at the table, use that as a springboard to begin some very serious conversations. I really do believe when you have the right persons in the room with the right minds and the right hearts, we can get this done. And so if they would just think about the Derek Chauvin case, the verdict, guilty on all 3 charges, the witnesses who came through, the families of George Floyd, the medical experts and the testimony involved, use that and come up with solutions to try to hedge our bet that will never happen again within this country. So they have the power. I hope they use it.
We know that talks stalled in the Senate on the George Floyd police reform bill. Where is the compromise? How do you get it passed?
Well, you know, I really believe that when we looked at the legislation last year, I really do believe that the majority of the information in there is reasonable. And I believe that the majority of the information in there, the Republicans and the Democrats have come together. We know that the sticking point centers around qualified immunity. But I do believe, Stephanie, that there is a way for us to get there. I think everybody would agree that bad cops who are engaged in, good cops agree with this as well, by the way, that bad cops engaged in egregious, inhumane, inappropriate, deadly behavior must be held accountable. America deserves that. Good cops deserve it. And I think we need that. And so we are hoping that the legislators at the table will come together and get this law passed. This is a moment. I hope they rise to the occasion.
And as a former police chief, you have deep expertise in policing in America. Yet you got some criticism for defending the Ohio police officer who fatally shot 16-year-old Ma'Khia Bryant last week. Do you sometimes think that your Democratic colleagues, who are lawmakers but not policing experts, jump to conclusions on these shootings before we know all the facts?
Well, look, as I said, look, whenever there is loss of life, one thing I know for sure, regardless of the circumstance, a tragedy. But what we all have to remember as we deal with these tragic situations is that each one stands on its own. We have to look at all the facts in each particular case. I know that an investigation is being done in the Bryant case. We'll certainly see what a thorough, concise investigation reveals. But we all must remember that each case stands on its own. And I know we're all interested in justice, and that's how we get there.
Congresswoman, we only have a few seconds left, but as a New Yorker, I have to ask, we've heard New York mayoral candidate Andrew Yang saying he's considering you as police commissioner.
Well, look, I would say anytime your name is called in a positive way, that's a good thing, and I'll leave that there.
All right, then, Congresswoman, thank you so much.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.